I'm Emily Wilson, a student of the Business Communications class. I'm going to go over two examples of business emails. One of them is a good example, and one is a very bad example of an email. But in order to be able to determine what a good and bad email are, we should first probably discuss what qualities a good email should possess. If you look at our book on email communication, they have a list of guidelines to follow to help you draft a professional quality email. Some of these qualities are discussed on page 74 of our textbook, BCom, Business Communications, 8th edition by Lehman and Dufresne. So some of the qualities are, or some of the guidelines are to, number one, send it to the right person or persons. Make sure that you are sending it to the correct person. Also, the subject line needs to be straightforward, make it useful, and then restate that subject in the body of the email. Also, focus on a simple topic, one that prevents people from not knowing or forgetting maybe to answer all the questions or the items that you had addressed in your email. Another way is another guideline would be to put it in deductive or inductive form. So good for good news, deductive, and bad news, inductive. Also, to revise your email before sending it, making sure that everything looks good and it's correct. So those are the guidelines that Business Communication says you should follow in a good email. So I wanted to go through a couple emails that I had picked. But first I want to talk to you about writing business email. Do you follow these 10 etiquettes? From InfoTrack Newsstand says that writing a business email is not about using lofty wordings and sentences as much as it is about using short and simplified language to put your point across in a rather formal or semi-formal manner, okay? So I had two examples of emails. So let's go over the good example. It should be attached to the comment section or to the video post. So the good example, if you open it up, it's labeled good example. It has the recruiter's email address. And then on the subject line, it says application for the position of high school art teacher. So right there, you know that this is an application. You know what it's an application for. I think it's pretty straightforward. Then you have your greetings, which is dear name of recruiter or whoever it would be at that point. So you have your dear, you have your greeting. And then my name is blank, and I am applying for the position of art teacher in your institution. Well, you're just restating the subject right there. So that's pretty clear, pretty straightforward. And then you're going to go, and then they go into, why they would be a good candidate and kind of a clear, concise review of who they are. So their content is spelled correctly. It looks good. It's to the point. It's one subject, basically. And then at the end, if you look at the end, it has the number and also how to reach them. So you've got that, and then you've got a salutation or an exit. Thank you for your attention to my application, and then also sincerely and the name of the applicant. So if you look at this, it's easy to read, it's straightforward, it looks good. So I really think that's a good example. Now, if you look at the bad example, you see that it is the subject is things, which could be anything. So that's not a good subject. Also, there's no greeting. There's no, who it's to. Just had a couple things to go over. I need a new keyboard for the computer as it is not working. If you look at this, this is a negative email. I mean, it has negative connotations on it. It seems like not to be a positive written email. So right there, and then there's misspellings. It's not business professional at all, and there's no ending, there's no dismissal, there's no thank you or anything like that. So, all right, I hope you enjoyed my review. Have a good one.